And we are live. Hey, ladies. So I have Miss Jessica here with me, and I am excited about tonight's topic. I have YouTube here, and I have Facebook here. So, ladies, if you could go ahead and click the link in the description and give StreamYard permission to show your name and your picture as you comment, so that I won't be like, hey, who is Facebook user? So just give them permission to do that. But I do have Miss Jessica here. Hey, Jessica.
Hi, ladies. How is everybody?
And we're going to be talking about the importance of planning and decluttering as a single mother. So we have Shaquita here as always. Thank you so much for your support, Shaquita. Girl, I say that all the
Hey.
time, but thank you for always supporting, always being here. Thank you so much for that. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. So,
Yes.
Miss Jessica, just could you just introduce yourself and just tell us just give us a little bit of just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Jessica Hiwe. I am a Nigerian American. I was born and raised here. My father is Nigerian and my mom was American. I have two children, two boys, and I'm 32 years old. And I have been a single mother for about a decade, or probably over a little bit of a decade. But that's pretty much everything nipped in the bud. I have two businesses. I have an events planning business called Events by Jessica E. And then I have a planning business where you can plan your whole life, and I create inserts for planners, and that's called by Jessica E. And that's on Etsy. So that's pretty much it.
Yes, and that's how I ran across you. I actually ran across you on your YouTube page, and I just started binge watching your videos.
Mhm.
Hey Violet, thank you for tuning in and supporting. I ran across your YouTube channel and I started binge watching, and I noticed how creative you are with your content. I'm like, wow, she's
I
very
try.
creative. She's really creative. So I'm like, I've been waiting for this moment. So I'm excited to finally be able to, have the opportunity to collaborate. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for saying yes to
No
tonight.
problem. No problem.
But I did like your video about you relocating, your relocation journey. So
Mhm.
could you tell us what that was like?
Okay, so this is a very interesting story. And so let's see, this is 2001. So about 2019, I was transitioning mentally on the move to Dallas. Didn't know where exactly, didn't know nothing about it, never visited Texas a day in my life. Prior to that, before my mom passed, I had told her, Mom, for some reason or another, the I have a something in me wants to move to Texas. Don't know why, just something in me, right? And she was telling me, God is probably telling you that you need to move. And so, I thought about it, and then I brushed it off to the side. Years later, she passed away, and years later, I then decided to say, you know what, let me just do this. I felt like God was telling me that I needed to move. And, I went in like deep detail in my video, moving to Texas. But prior to that, I was watching tons of videos. And it's so ironic. Like, I don't know. It is so ironic that I'm sitting here with the lady, okay, that I was watching her videos in my bed crying because I didn't know the direction that I take. And I watched her video twice, and I heard her tell her story and how she, moved from Alabama to Texas, and I'm sorry, girl, I'm about to tell your whole story. um, and how she has a child, and she went in a little bit, sorry, those are my children, but she went in detail about, her whole relationship and where God has brought her. And I just found it so ironic that I'm sitting here with this person Latarsha that I'm guys, I'm so honored. But that's what I did. I watched her video twice along with others, but it was her video that I felt like God brought me to because she kept putting a lot of biblical things behind everything that she was talking about. So, and at that point, I was working on my spirituality anyway, like, continue to read the Bible and in my prayer life. So eventually I made the move and I was nervous. I had two luggages and a crossbody bag. That's all I had, and myself. My children stayed with my family, and thank God I have that support. They saw that I was determined that I was going for something and I wasn't coming back. Okay. If I was coming back to say, hey, how you doing? And go home.
Right.
But they knew that, and I'm grateful for that support. When I came here, I didn't have a job for the first like 3 weeks to a month, but God provided me with two jobs back to back. I was working a full-time job at Ross, and I was working a part-time job at the Loft. And it was hard because I've never worked two jobs like that a day in my life. I think I tried, and I said, this is just not for me. But it was for me that year. It was definitely for me. I knuckled and buckled and stayed focused. Eventually, months later, maybe about 4 or 5 months later, I went back home to Atlanta, Georgia. I was able to bring my kids over because God had blessed me with a great job. I work at a pharmaceutical company, McKesson, here in Irving, Texas, and I am an executive admin for the executive board. So it was a job I've never had in my life, and the pay I've never had in my life, and it was all literally like a blessing, like everything from the apartment, which I thought I never could get because I was staying in a hotel all that time. And I applied to a couple of apartments and I was denied because of my credit. But as soon as I got this job, I got this apartment. I swear God was just putting everything in front of me, like step by step. So I do encourage women, if God is telling you to do something, it's better to obey than to disobey, because the consequences in disobeying is a lot. And I wasn't willing to prolong that and just obey the word of the Lord. So but my kids are here. We're here. We've been here for about a change. And since, when I brought my kids over, that's when everything shut down. I think it was March 13th, everything shut down. So my kids went virtual, something they've never done before. So that was hard. And I started working from home, something I've never done before. And still to this day, I praise God for allowing me to continue to be employed, because lots of people don't have jobs. So my heart do go out to those men who are in those predicaments. But everything's good. We're blessed, amen.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I love it, and it's not a coincidence because I ran across your video and your relocation video. Your story is like it's so similar to mine. And I'm like, that's when I don't know if you remember, but that's when I first reached out to you on
Mhm.
Instagram. And
Yes.
I'm like, I just watched your video. I'm binge watching. I love your channel. And I
Yeah.
still do. Like even all the, bath and body work videos when you
Hmm.
and your kids go shopping. I love it. So if y'all haven't checked out, we'll link all of that information at the end. But I know Violet just said um Shaquita said she knew your face looked familiar. She watched your relocation video. She said you had the red natural hair.
Yes, and I still do. It's up in here. It needs to be high, but it's up in here, child.
Yeah, so that's just kind of like confirmation that um Violet said she want to relocate, but she don't know how. You have two single mothers sitting here who
Yes,
God has made it possible for. Sometimes we think that we have to have all of our ducks in a row. We think
Yes.
that we have to have it all figured out. But if God is telling you to relocate,
You
then
better
you
do
need
so.
to relocate and do what you can to trust Him to do
Yes.
everything else. We're not
Yes.
saying that it's gonna be easy. We're not
Mm-mm.
saying that it's peaches and cream. You gonna hit some obstacles, some rocks, some storms, but you just gotta keep going and trust that God with you. You know
Yeah.
what He leads you, there is provision.
Yes.
So it can be done, single moms. It can be
Yes.
done.
Yes.
Um,
Definitely.
Violet said, "Did you have any confirmation?" Well, we'll go back up to Facebook user. Oh my God, so much inspiration. And
Thank
Violet said,
you.
"Did you have any?" Wait, she said, "How do? Can you see the comments, Jessica?"
Yes, I can.
Okay.
So, Violet, you are asking, how do you make sure it's the Lord speaking and not yourself speaking to yourself in your head? First of all, I will say this: I definitely understand because you want to make sure, child. I what I did, and I mentioned this in my relocation video. I prayed and I fast, and I asked God to get me in alignment with Him, not myself. I cleared everything out, any distractions that I would thought was gonna like compromise anything, and I kept my mouth closed. I did not tell anybody outside of my circle of family that lived in my daddy's house. No one knew. Not even my closest uncles. No one knew. Not because I think that they're going to do something bad. No, 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 no. It's because when God is telling you to do something, you need to make sure that your path is clear of any distractions. That's like the best thing I can say. And there's plenty of stories in the Bible from Genesis when He's asking people to do things and they're bringing people along with them, and God never told them to do so, and this, that, and then other. There are examples already in the Bible to let you know what to do. Another thing is, and I will reiterate about your prayer life, read the Bible, meditate on God, be at the presence of God, be at His feet. I fasted days, almost maybe 7 days before He gave me the date to go. And then you know what? When you keep your mouth closed and nobody, right? And people will come up to you and say, "Man, I don't see you here. I see you in Chicago." They don't know you from a can of paint, and you neither of them, right? And you're like, "Oh wow." Don't even say nothing to them. Keep your mouth closed. I don't know how can I stress this so much. The importance of silence, of
Right.
just be quiet, and you can hear God talk through all types of things. God created this world. He can use anything
Mm-hmm.
to bring anything to you, to bring any type of confirmation to you. I will be driving and see license plate of Texas. It's just like, and you know what? I don't even say anything. I'm like, okay, God, okay, I understand, but you know what? I'm human. Can you send me? Can you just bring a little bit more to me? Can you bring a little bit more
Right.
to me? And that's okay. Talk to God. He's our Father. He's our Daddy. So talk to Him as you would, like we're talking. Just talk. And give Him something to laugh about sometimes, and He will bring it to you. He knows you. He knows where you go, how you move. He knows you. He created you. So the confirmation, that's a personal intake between, I'm sorry, you and God, really.
Right. That's good. That's good. Sandy said there is definitely power in stillness and silence. There
Yes,
is.
there
There
is.
is.
Absolutely.
Um, thank you.
No problem, Violet. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Um,
definitely something you have to pray about, Jonay. If you feel that God is showing you, definitely pray and fast and
yes,
get to do it because we walk by faith, we
yes,
walk by faith. God
yes,
said His children hear His voice. So if you are His, you will hear His voice. But you
yes.
have to be in faith, that it's Him. So we'll move to the next question. So we kind of went into it a little bit. You said you kind of plan by fasting to relocate by fasting
Mhm.
and praying and keeping silent. Is there any other ways that you plan for your move?
I did. So I was working at Northside Hospital in the breast care facility unit as a tech. And it was pretty mellow versus working on the floor or other surgical departments. So when I'll be assigned to that unit, I would sit there and plan my whole trip. Let me see if I can grab something real quick to show you guys what I planned. So this is what I did, and you'll notice it's empty. So I planned, and I'm showing you this for a reason because um, sometimes when we try to, God gives us something, so we're all hyped, we're all excited, right? And so we go to planning everything like, oh, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do this, I'm about to say this. And God's, He's just sitting on the throne like, okay, all right, I hear you. You know, that's where you make them laugh, right? So this is what I did. I created this. I created this. Mind you, it's on graphing paper, okay? And I created this. This is what I was going to use to move. And let me tell you how that did not work because I planned it myself. And as you can see, it's dated July 19th. I was ready. I said, God, okay, I hear you. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And the whole time he said, no, that's not how it's gonna go. But okay, you could do that. And that didn't work. Planning is great. It really is. Planning is for us humans. Planning is for us, but we always have to leave room for God to make the final plan. And
Mhm.
I would say this, when you're planning something and things don't go your way, don't get upset. God has a different route for you. He really does. Color out and make it cute, put stickers on and everything. But it may not just go your way. Now, planning is great. It does show God, okay, this child of mine is taking this really serious. And there's blessings in that. But I just want to share that with you. For anyone who is planning and is just stuck on the planning part, let it go.
Right,
Just let it go. God, you know what? If let it go and say, God, these are my plans. Show me your plans and leave it at that as far as relocating and everything. Um,
yes.
yeah.
And I love that because I'm the type to where I, like you just said, I get excited. God
Mm-hmm.
drop ideas. Most of the time it be my own ideas. I get excited. I be ready to do this thing. But sometimes I just have to sit quiet and be like, God, I'm not gonna be hasty. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be hasty because we can lose a lot of money and a lot of time with being hasty. And
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna be hasty. I'm gonna sit here. Here's my plans, Lord. I give them to you, but I
Yes.
trust that you are going to lead me and guide me and make it happen if it's your will. If it's not your will,
Exactly.
show me which other way to go. And when you think like that, it take away the expectation,
Uh-huh.
which will bring disappointment when things don't go your way. And then another thing with planning too, not saying that it's not important. God says, make your plans and give them to me. He tell us to do
Yes.
that. But some of us, we've been planning for 10 years and we still ain't ready to move. God, we know what God telling us to do, but we so
Yes.
scared. We like, oh, I still got a plan. I still got a plan.
Ain't
We
did
make a joke.
nothing.
We be like, oh, it was a YouTube video. And he like, oh, I'm just waiting on God. He said he want a new house, and his friend was like, well, did you go and talk to a realtor? Oh, I'm just waiting on God. Well, did you even look on Zillow? Oh, I'm just waiting on God. You
Yeah, you'll
gotta
be
do
waiting forever.
something. Yeah, you got a part to play. God got a part to play. But in the end, you still have to trust that God's plan is going to be bigger than your plan, if
Yes.
it doesn't work out.
Yes. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
um, so I heard you said you have two businesses, and I know your Etsy shop is one of them because I just
Mhm.
ordered my little welcome packet. It's nice too. It's real
Oh, thank
nice.
you. Thank you.
Tell
Thank
what to
you.
do. I ordered my welcome packet and I ordered a planner, a budget
Mhm.
planner. I ordered that too.
Yes.
So what inspired you to create your Etsy shop?
Okay, if we can be real. COVID. COVID had me do it. It had me do it. I've always been creative since high school or middle school, but I've always been creative, and I just kind of like nipped it in the bud. But I had all this extra time, and I'm just sitting at home. And yes, I'm in executive admin, yeah, but my job kind of required me to, or how I can fulfill my job was like a physical. I had to really kind of be there to do my job, and everything went virtual. So I was, getting wrapping that around my mind. And something dinged in me saying, you know what, how about you go ahead and create a budget binder, like a financial binder, And I'm like, well, okay. So I watched tons of videos on how to actually like do it and make a profit out of it. And I just let it all flow out of my head, and I created it and posted it on Etsy. And then, you can kind of see my progress from like the first one to my last one when I made the welcome client packet for clients. So thank God for growth.
Because I mean, it's nice.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, that's how I got started. I took advantage of this free time that I was inquiring at home, just sitting here and, in and on the computer, answering a couple emails, and I just did it, and I thank God for it. I really do. I really do. Since COVID, my first business that I brought with me from Atlanta kind of like went down the drain. COVID, I was going to come out here, y'all, running like, oh yeah, I'm about to be this event planner. Oh yeah. And then
Don't
COVID
we
hit.
think that? Like, we just think everything just gonna take off real quick.
Yes, yes, and that didn't work out in my favor. But me creating inserts and financial binders, it did. And so, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because people really we have so many content creators who don't have the time to do it themselves. So that's
Hmm.
really it right now. Like I
Yes, yes,
I spent a lot of money on, different content because I just don't have time to just sit down and do it all myself for certain aspects of my
mhm,
business.
yeah.
So, do you think it's important for single moms to use a planner in their
I
lives?
think it's I think it's very important. I think you need some sort of organization. I really do. I think that we have a lot going on in our lives, and we can't keep it all up in here, right? We'll go crazy, we'll be, psycho, So jotting things down is the best way. Planning out your day, even if you're the type of person that has to plan it like time by time, like hour by the hour, go ahead and do that. Ain't no shame in my game, and shouldn't be no shame in your game. And like for me, I'm kind of simple when it comes to planning. I like my black ink. I like a very clear um, platform, right? And so I'll jot down major things. And then on the other side of that, I will go into detail of all the things I need to do for this particular task or assignment. So I think it's very important that us mothers take some time out of our busy day to say, you know what do I need to do? Like, what is it that I need to do this whole week when it comes to, the kids, and even as far as meal prepping? I found that doing that saves me, one, a lot of money, two, and a lot of time, because I'm going to the grocery store, I'm walking around, and at times I'm just walking and walking, I'm just like, I don't even know what I want to cook, so
Right.
to get all of that, because time is of essence, our time is very precious. I go home and I plan out my meals. Now, some weeks are better than others, and sometimes I don't do it one week, but I try to make it a task to meal prep for the week. As for games, I do that. Swimming lessons, I do that. My own life and, my content, I do that. I do it all. Hmm.
So for meal prepping, can you give us some tips on that?
Okay.
How?
So it's like this. Like, when I before I meal prep, I go ahead and I plan my whole week for the kids, like activities and things that I want to do for like YouTube and Instagram, right? And so I look at that and I'm just like, okay, maybe I can cook spaghetti right here because I got like a tight schedule, like a real tight, and spaghetti takes what, 20, 30 minutes to make. I can do spaghetti right here, and then I can do maybe some fried chicken, baked chicken, mac and cheese, maybe on a Sunday because Saturday I wasn't too busy, right? So that's how I like to kind of like plan my things. I like to start off with first my day-to-day activities, and then I go ahead and insert, ideas of meals that I know that I can cook, depending on how much time I have available that day.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. I definitely need to implement that because I think also with meal prepping, it helps you to eat healthier too because
It
you
does.
already have a plan
Hmm.
of what you're going to make and what you're going to eat. And if you're able to stick to that plan, it'll help you eat healthier. I said I was going to start meal prepping, but I haven't done it yet. I really need to. Um, but using a planner, planning anyway, is definitely important because I know with me, when I sit down to work, I have so much that I need to get done. So
Hmm.
I'm jumping from task to task and I never get anything done. Even in the house, if I know I need to clean up, but yeah, I know I need to clean up, but my show on, so I need to go watch my show. But then I need to check Facebook. Oh no, I forgot to post on Instagram today. It just be so much. So I
Hmm.
do think that we should have like a daily planner and prioritize our time to,
Yes.
what the most important to the least important. Because like you said, we have so much stuff going on in our
Yes.
head. But
Yes.
that leads me.
Absolutely.
What you say, Jessica?
Absolutely.
Oh yes, yeah. But decluttering. So on your videos, I do notice like how neat you are. How often do you kind of declutter your personal space?
Every day. Every day. My sisters and my brother think I'm a little crazy or have a little bit of OCD, but I beg to differ. I just think that everybody should be like this, right? But every day, and I even try to put the children in that habit of doing so. But kids are going to be kids. They don't care, they don't care at all. And I care. So, when I first wake up, I try my best to make my bed up. I don't know, it's something about making up the bed that kind of like sets the mood right for to be a bad boss, to be really bad. It's just something about that. And after that you make your cup of coffee and you're like, oh my God, I'm about to achieve everything, you know, and
The
then,
perfect.
um I try to, how can I say this? Um, if I'm gonna buy, like, say for instance, like, okay, my sisters came in town a couple weeks ago. I knew that when they came, I was gonna go shopping. So before they came, I got rid of a lot of things because for one thing and another, my mind cannot take mess. I cannot take mess. I go crazy, really. I go crazy, right? And so when I know I'm bringing new things into my home, I know that there are some old things that has been sitting there, they ain't been touched, looked at, thought about for forever. So I'm just like, you know what? Let me give this away. It's in great condition, and if it's in bad condition, I put it in the trash. But if it's in great condition, I go give it to a church or a shelter, and somebody else can, create treasure out of my junk, right? But that's how I do. I kind of rotate or put it in a circle. If I'm bringing something new, I get rid of the old. If I'm bringing something new, I get rid of the old. And also storage containers. Um, there's bed space. I buy the flat little ones or something that's about this long. You guys can't really see me, but from Target for about $8, and I roll up things like sweaters or scarves or store small hats or things like that that I know I'm not going to use. I put away winter, and bring
Mhm.
out summer and spring. That's what I do. I don't like I love shoes and I love bags. But I like that goes back to my first point. I get rid of the old things I know I have not worn in a year. I'm putting away. And that's just what I do to so I can see things clearly. Like, okay, woosah. But
Right.
yeah,
I'm starting to think that decluttering is, I mean, clutter. I'm starting to think decluttering is spiritual.
It
because it's like
is.
God has been showing me things like that I need to clean out, like drawers. Like I have
Yes.
drawers that just got full of stuff in it that I haven't even touched in
Hmm.
months. And it's just there and it's starting to irritate me.
Hmm.
So I know I need to do it because it's just clutter. Even in my closet, like you were saying, getting away, putting up the winter stuff and bringing out the
Hmm.
spring stuff. I have that on my to-do list.
Yes.
I have to do that. But I think it's spiritual because I think like just like with our, spirit, like you were saying, how um you have to keep quiet. When you were relocated, you had to keep quiet. I
Yes.
think in our spiritual, we have to we're so cluttered with distractions that's going
Hmm.
on, and it can kind of throw us out balance. If that
Exactly.
makes sense. I think that's the same, as with in our lives, in our personal space, in our workspace. Sometimes clutter can throw you off balance. I know for me
Yeah.
it do.
Yeah. Yeah. And some people like it. Some people thrive off of, it's just something in them that, that likes a lot. And then there's a lot of other people who they can't think, they can't get to point B because point A look a mess, right? So it's very important to get rid of things that you do not need. It's taking up space. Think about it like a blessing. Okay. Think about it like a relationship. You're in a bad relationship, right? And God's been telling you, you need to get out, you need to get out. And you're like, nah. And this person that you're in a relationship with is just causing chaos, confusion, all types of things, right? All the negative things, right? And so God is not going to bring anything good in your life if you are cluttered with a bad relationship. You have to get rid of it first before God brings the person that is supposed to be in your life. So hopefully that kind of makes a little sense.
It does.
Yeah, so you get rid of the old, let it go. So God can bless you with more things, bless you with more money to put things in your home or whatever. That's how I view
Right.
it.
Right. Yeah, I made an Instagram status today that said get rid of the memories because
Oh,
sometimes
that's a good one.
memories
Yes.
memories will keep you running back to your past,
Hmm.
to the toxic relationship, because you're holding on to the memory, so it keeps you trying to relive that situation.
Exactly.
I think it's similar, but God says He's doing a new thing, and you're not gonna be able to do the new thing He's doing if you're cluttered with the old things. So,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
Violet said, yeah, the decluttering is hard to do at times. I agree.
Yeah, it is, but you have to, it's all in the mind. If you tell yourself before you close your eyes, you know what, tomorrow I'm just gonna get up and I'm just gonna make my bed. Start off like that. And then you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna clean that drawer out. And those little things, now you're doing it. Now you're doing it. You didn't even plan for it, like written or wrote it down or anything. You literally told yourself. It's all in the brain, right? It's all in the mind. Tell yourself two things that you're going to do. Like, you know what? I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and just do it. And then the rest of the day, you can do whatever you want, right? But after doing those two things, you're going to feel so accomplished. And you start
Right.
off like that.
Yeah, Violet, I think that just kind of answered your question. She said she struggled with procrastination. I think that kind of just answered it. And while
Yeah.
you were talking, I was thinking about a book I read. I don't remember the author, but it's called, I think, 5 4 3 2 1 Lunch or Rocket or something. But she
Hmm.
was she was saying how in order to avoid procrastinating,
Hmm.
to just, like when it's time to get out the bed in the morning, 5 4 3 2 1, get up, just like a rocket
Yeah.
lunch. After 5 4 3 2 1, she was like, don't even think about it, just do it. And that's with anything you need to do, like 5 4 3 2 1 and do it. But
Just
it's
do it.
a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a book I read a while back. I can't remember the author or the exact title, but it was a really good book. um let's see. So, can you tell us a little more about your Etsy store?
Okay, so for my Etsy store, I place things like once I create something, especially like, let's for example, my financial binder. I created it. And I think it's roughly about 10 sheets, if give or take. And I wanted to make sure that, it's a binder for money, and I didn't want to set the price too high, right? And so in my opinion, I set it at a very reasonable price. They're printables. So, on the go, you can always have them. And I have a binder. You can put them in the binder if you want to. And, from day to day, I will show you guys a little, like one of them. So this is like the bi-weekly budget sheet. And so this is where you can, put, all the things that that you would need. Now, the reason why I created it like I did, you're going to see that under the expenses, it's short. Because when I was thinking of everything, I'm telling myself that a person should not have a ton of expenses. The end game is to have less expenses and more money, right? And so
Right.
that's why I created that budget sheet. A lot of people get paid bi-weekly. So this will go for you. I don't have one that will be for monthly, nor do I have one that's every week thing. This is just for the majority, the mass majority. So that's why when you go on there and you look at the expenses, oh, she don't have enough columns. Oh, well, the goal is to reduce/eliminate, as much expenses as you can. Cut off things that you do not need at all, and pocket that money. Go put it in the bank and let it sit and make money while you sleep. So that's that. And then I have another sheet, an overview sheet, where it's a yearly overview sheet where you print it out. All of it's printable, and you literally can see the overview of your finances. Like, some months you did good, some you did bad, what you can do better next year. This will go good for those people who like to do the vision boards. Include that on your vision board. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. And then I have another sheet that is more for event or client based. It's a welcome packet for anyone who has a business and you want to make a great introduction to your new client. You can give them my awesome welcome packet.
Girl, I
And
can't wait to use mine.
yeah, that one was the one that took me a long time. I think I had a lot of passion behind it just because I was kind of upset that my first business, my event planning business, didn't quite take off the way I wanted it. So I definitely planned it or created it to, like, I had a client right in front of me that day. And I'm like, you know what would that person like to see from me? So thank you, Violet. I really appreciate it. Thank
So,
you.
Nicole said, "How do you get confidence when relocating with two kids and leaving your child's father?" That's definitely a good question.
Oh, this is deep.
Yeah, because
Okay, so
I always wondered that. I wonder, like, if Kingston's dad was alive, how would it have worked? Like, I don't know.
okay. I did not share this part on my channel, but I just figured, what? Let me just do so. I really thought that question would never come across, but obviously you need to know. My kids, I have two children, and I was married. And before that, I was in a relationship with my eldest son's dad, and we did not work out. It was very short lived. And I got married 6 months later. And at that time, I knew God, I knew Jesus, I knew the Holy Ghost, I knew the Trinity, right? I knew everything about God, but I did not take him serious. I did not bring this marriage or this proposal, this man, this fiance to God. And that marriage was very short lived. Not to go into too much detail, but we end up getting a divorce. He went his way, and I continued to go my way. So right now, the only father that is active in my children's life is my eldest father. He is not as active as a daddy, but he is there. If you guys understand, he's there. So I'm not gonna bash him or anything. He's just there. Um, how I relocated, I didn't tell him. I have full custody of my children. So the court said I can make the best financial decisions. I don't have to tell him anything. Um, I told him when I landed. I no, I didn't even know. That's a lie. I didn't tell him until I got my children to Texas in March 13th, 2020. I did not tell him. I didn't think I had to. I made sure, I don't hate him, God forbid, because he is half of my son. So I would never hate. God still created him. So I'm not going to hate you. But I knew that he was going to stop me, by saying, oh, why you doing that? Da, 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 da. He got friends. I don't need that in my ears, right? Because I'm on a mission, right? So I didn't tell him until I brought my children here. I called him up, called my son's grandmother, and I said, "Hey, look, we're in Texas. We moved to Texas. They can't do nothing. What can they do? I got everything set up. What can they do? I have a car because I didn't have a car when I came here. I bought a car when I came here when I got my new job in January. I call everything is set up. So what could they do? They can't do anything. If you're worried about whether or not that this man may call child protective services, move in silent. Put it in the hands of, in the feet of God. Be quiet. Move silently. Shut your mouth and do what you need to do as a mother to better the life of you and your children. Okay, that is the best. Say nothing. And I mean that. Say absolutely nothing. They have beds, they have food, you have a vehicle, you have a job, you have a place to stay. Bad. And do not let anyone, no, any man tell you any other. That's the best advice I can give to another mother. Be quiet. If you have full custody, and now if you share custody, then that means that a conversation needs to be had. But if you have full custody of your children, move. If God is saying move, move. That's the best. So
That's
hopefully,
it.
yeah, it's as simple as that. It's no extra math, no equations to it. Just do it in silence, though. That's that.
So Nicole, I hope you're still here. I hope that kind of, helped you a little bit. Of course, all of our situations is different, but she said child's father is a good guy, but he has hurt me too much. It's just time to go. If I stay, we will be in the same situation. Not trying to be low down, but need to do what's best for me.
Yeah. I say, I don't know if you're still in a relationship with this guy, but get out of a relationship. I don't know if God's telling you to relocate, and if He's not, just move in your state, move to a better location, and wait on God for direction through prayer and through fasting. We always talk about prayer, but we don't want to sacrifice anything to get close to God. You got to fast in order to hear Him. You need to fast to and let things go and able to hear the instructions God has for your life in the life of your children. I say, get out of the bad relationship. I mean, is he holding you by the throat? And if not, then you have all the right to go and choose better and take a break from being in a relationship and get you right. You know, your kids need to be in a good standing. So that means mama need to take a break. Mama needs to take a good break, okay, from any relationship and focus on your children and yourself. And girlfriend, you good. You good.
Yeah, and sometimes with our kids' fathers, we're so tired, I would say, to them.
Yes.
Like, we can't leave. Like, we
Yeah.
try, but they say the right thing and we're running back. But we have
Yeah.
so much history with them. I remember when Kingston's dad was alive and I did that. I moved back in with my mom, and I remember her words like yesterday. She was like, if you keep going back, I can't help you. And
Yeah.
I feel like, sometimes that's what God tells us. He say, I'm trying to help you, but you can't keep going back because it's just going to start the healing process over and over. Sometimes we
Mhm.
need distance. Well, not sometimes, all the times. If you're trying to get over someone, you need distance. And I know that's your kid's father, but they make arrangements. If you
Yep.
have family, he can go to your family house to see him. You don't have to see him.
Yep.
You need distance to kind of break that tie that keeps pulling you back to him, to make
Yeah.
you think that you need to get away. You think you need to get away to avoid him.
Yeah.
But like Jessica said, just pray about it. Be sure that it's what God wants you to do. Of course, He wants you to get away, to get away from that relationship. But um, pray about it, and He'll answer you. He'll give you the answer that you need.
Yeah.
So Shaquita said, I had to get custody over my children because my kid's dad seemed to want to keep me here. I made sure I put him in the court order. I'm just happy I haven't had to deal with the family law thing, the family court thing. When my child's dad was here, when Kingston's dad was alive, we split. Like, we was together when Kingston was born, but well, we was together when I got pregnant, but when Kingston was born, we broke up. But
Hmm.
we were still on good terms. We argued here and there, but before he was killed, we wasn't on good terms. We was beefing, as they say. So, one thing I can say about, your kid's father is, don't be bitter towards him.
Yes.
Try to reconcile and forgive him for whatever he did, because you don't know, that, like Jessica said, that still you made a child with this man.
Hmm.
Like, you laid down, you created a human being with this
Yes.
man. So you have to find a way to forgive him for whatever he has done, and just, let it go. If y'all not for each other, y'all just not for each other. But
Yes.
I like to encourage single moms, or single moms, to just forgive their child's father, because you don't know, he could be, God forbid, I pray that, I don't wish that on anybody, he could be gone, in a
Yeah.
blink of an eye. Any of us can. So
Yep.
forgive, and try to let it go and move on and do what's best for you and your children, because I didn't have the time, the chance to make things right with Kingston's dad before he left. Like, we was beefing on Facebook so everybody could see, like, two big children. And
Hmm.
then next thing I know, I didn't even talk to him no more after we called each other every kind of name in the book. And next thing I know, my cousin calling me, telling me, he's dead. And it's
Wow.
nothing I could do. I can't say I'm sorry. I can't say, here's Kingston, you can see him, which he was asking me to see him. And me being bitter, I'm like, no, because he wouldn't help me with a birthday party that my son was 2, and it was a $300 Chuck E. Cheese party that he probably wasn't even gonna remember. So I was bitter, and I was childish, and I was
Yeah.
mad because of that. And I told him he couldn't see his son. And next thing I know, somebody calling me saying, he's no longer here. I can't go back and make things right. So I
Right.
encourage y'all to, kind of just forgive and just let it go, because life too short.
Right. I
Life.
agree. I agree. And another thing, um, make a yeah. Once you make amends with the child's father or children's father or whatever, let them kids go with their daddy. Girl, go get your
Right.
nails done, your feet done, take a nap, plan your life, learn yourself, watch some TV, watch the shows that you can't watch around the kids. Like, I never understood why we as women, you know, don't want to give the children over to the father. I did the same thing too. And I just, and now that I'm older and much more mature, thank God, my eldest son, he calls like, Jessica, I want to see. Oh, when? Okay. I do not hold, and I'm not going to speak evil to my children about him. No, they'll figure it out. They'll know. They know.
Right.
Okay. They human, they smart, so they'll know what type of father they have. But if
Right.
he called me right now and say, "Oh, I'm heading to Texas," okay, well, when you coming? Okay, that gives me a break. Okay, and I just, let it go, forgive. It'll be okay. It really will.
Yeah, y'all blessed. If you have, if y'all kids have a dad in their life that actually want to see them, he may not
Yeah.
have the money, but if he got the time and he want to spend time with them, that's a blessing in itself.
Hmm.
Better take advantage of it.
Yes.
If he a good man, and he's trying to spend time with his kids, and he, trying to live right, and he ain't got them around all types of nonsense and stuff. That's what I mean. But you're welcome, Nicole.
Thanks,
Um,
Nicole.
uh, Shantae, hey ladies, I've healed from the emotional heartbreak my child did by leaving her behind, and we made amends. But he's on drugs, and I understand his life cycles. I just have her pray for him. Yeah, Shantae, that's really all you can do.
Yeah.
Just pray for him and trust God to deliver him.
Yeah. Um, I pray the best for you, Shantae. I don't, I've never experienced that. So, yeah, just pray. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'll be praying for you too, Shantae. I'll
Yeah.
write you in my little prayer journal that I have. But we'll go ahead. I know it's getting late, Jessica. I know you're in Dallas. You're on the same time zone,
Yeah,
girl. We
I am,
still finna
child.
hop away. I thought about coming to Dallas this weekend, but I'm like, no, I still out. But could you, if the ladies wanna contact you, could you give them your social media handles, your
Okay.
Etsy shop?
Okay, ladies. So, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it is right here displayed, Jessica Ehiwe, Ehiwe. And I think it's like underscore. Child, let me check. I think it's underscore as Jessica underscore Ehiwe. And you can find me on Instagram and on YouTube. My name is Jessica Ehiwe. And that's pretty much like that's the only platforms that I do have, Instagram and then YouTube. Thank you, girl. Thank you. But that's just pretty much any support groups you offer in Texas. I'm not in the support group. I don't know if there's any. Um, that is a great question. You probably could, like go on Facebook in the search bar and put in, like, depending on where you live, just put in like Dallas moms or Austin moms or something like that, and see if they, have that available wherever you stay. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, like meetup.com or something, Facebook. But it's getting late, ladies. So what I'm going to do, I'm moving to Dallas, Texas in a few months. Hope to meet you ladies one day. Yay, Jessica is in Dallas. I'm in Austin, but I'm a couple of hours away. Violet said, call 211. Yeah, you can call 211 for different resources here in
okay,
Texas. Um so, the ladies who's in the single mothers life empowerment and encouragement group, I do a giveaway every week to a blessed mom who has contributed to the group the most. So, what I did is I made a post and I asked you ladies to help me because I was doing a project with jewelry. And I wanted to know if you like silver or gold. And for everyone who commented, I have your name in my little pretty bag here, and I'm gonna pick a name. So let's see who won this week. Queenly B. Queenly B. You are the winner, girl. So just comment under this post within 24 hours and let me know, and I'll let you know, give you further instructions because I'm gonna send you something real nice. So Jessica, any last words?
no, and I just sent you something. But no, I don't have anything like extra, guys. If you have any questions, you can just reach out to me on Instagram. And I thank you, ladies, so much for having me. It's been wonderful. And don't forget about my Etsy shop. It's by Jessica E. And, hopefully it works out for you guys. And I wish you nothing but the best. Two things, two words: obedience and silence. That's it.
And I was gonna ask you if you could lead them with one an encouraging something word, what would it be? So I guess that was your encouraging word. Obedience and silence. Obedience and
Yes,
silence. So thank you,
yes,
ladies,
indeed.
for tuning in. We love y'all. We are praying for you all. Thank you, Jessica, so much for saying yes to
No
tonight. And
problem,
y'all
Miss
have a
Portia.
wonderful night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.